Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be doing this baby shower setup. The theme was Winter Wonderland, but we're doing it with like the Sage edition. Inside the client's home, we have 4 different colors. All is listed inside the description box. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the video, but let's get started. So I asked the client before I started to put tape on the walls, of course, if it was okay if I use the Scotch blue tape, because I will be doing the H method to attach the balloons to the wall. And the only thing about the Scotch tape versus like using duct tape or gaff tape to do the H method, that 260, the middle one, if it pulls, it can rip the Scotch tape. So what I did the next time I end up doing this, I put an extra piece of Scotch tape. Once I had it attached to the wall, I put an extra piece in between where the 260 at, that tape part, so when it pull, it won't rip the tape. But if you do it with duct tape or gaff tape, which I've done with both, you shouldn't have that problem. I guess the Scotch tape is just much thinner, of course. So right now I'm doing something a little bit different. I haven't used clusters of 8 balloons in a while. And basically a cluster is anything over 4 balloons. 4 balloons is a quad. Anything over 4 is a cluster. I typically do clusters of 6, 8, no more than 8 most of the time, but most of the clusters will always be even numbers because I inflate 2 balloons at a time. I stopped doing 8 clusters of 8. I don't even know why. I miss it so much though once I started back again, because the cluster of 6 give it a more straight look, where once you do a cluster of 8, it's a little bit more thicker. It already gives it an organic look. So today I've been playing with 8 and 6 at the same time and doing both of those. So you guys going to see me jump back and forth from using clusters of 8 and clusters of 6. So that first green one I put on was an 8, and the second one, you can see the difference a little bit. The 8 is a little bit more chunky on the corner, and then that 6 is a little bit more straight. And those 2 new was also clusters of 6. So the problem I had, so let me start here. The idea that I had in my mind, once I knew I was going to be setting up over here, at first I was supposed to be on the backdrop, but the backdrop ended up being moved to the entrance and it wasn't going to be enough room to put balloons on it. So we decided to put it in this corner, which the chair will be coming later on for the client to sit in. So I figured because it was Winter Wonderland, like maybe I can do some kind of tree. That was supposed to be what it was look like. A tree with like 3 different branches and then come down and kind of flare out a little bit. So that was the idea I had in my head and what I wanted everything to look like. Now I think I achieved what I wanted. However, some of the branches wasn't looking too good. So let's start on the branch on the left side, the sage green. I didn't have that color in a larger balloon, so I only had it in 11 inches. And as you see, I have 3 clusters of that, but it looks very... There's no texture, no dimension, because it's only 11 inches. Now, I could have did the trick, which I learned from online balloon classes, overinflating the balloon 3 times, like overinflating, deflating, overinflating, deflating 3 times. And then by the time you inflate it the 4th time, you should be able to stretch it out to it, maybe to like a 16-inch balloon. I didn't try it, but I wish I did, because I would have loved to add like a bigger size balloon inside their whole cluster length, because it looks very I can't find the word, but it needed a big balloon to break up all those 11 inches. So that's what I would have needed. Or I could have just kept it at 2 clusters and not added that 3rd cluster, I think. I love the branch though on the right side, all the way to the right, that white sand inside white. That branch was really nice, and I think is because it had that 16-inch balloon in the middle, breaking it up with the 11-inch balloon. So I think exactly that's what the sage green branch needed. but I didn't have any 16-inch balloons. But I'm going to try to do that trick and see if it actually, I think I did it once before, so long ago, so I can't remember if I liked it or not. But I'm going to try it again for you guys to see how much I like it and if it's something. And I won't recommend doing it all the time. This was, especially not if you're outside, like in the sun or something. But this was in a home. It wouldn't be much going on as far as like people touching or anything. It's up on the wall. So I would have been safe to do it. But yeah. And let's just say this, doing the H method is a lot. It's nice to do it, but it's a lot having to go up there putting tape all around it, but it works though, so that's a good thing. And I also did the H method on the floor as well. And something I did different when I did the H method, if you guys ever did it, with the 260 I used before a piece of duct tape, and then around it I use the Scotch tape. That way when you pull the 260, it's not going to rip it, like how I mentioned it in the beginning about ripping the blue tape. So if you use duct tape first for the actual 260 part, and then around it surround it with the Scotch tape, I think that, or you can do gaff tape. So I think the gaff tape will leave no residue, so gaff tape. So we started to add the 5 inches on early because we was waiting for the chair to come. And the chair was still on its way, so we wanted to get this out of the way, because once the chair come, I didn't want to have to get back on the ladder to go back up top to add anything else. And I had bought these eucalyptus from Amazon that I wanted to use because it fit the theme. However, the way it's sticked out, it was like sticking out the garland. I didn't really like it. I think I should have bought the eucalyptus vine. I think that would have been much better. That way it laid on the balloon and not just, you know, stick out on, you know, facing you kind of thing. So I think I should have got the vine. It wasn't requested. It was just something I wanted to do myself because I thought it would be really nice to have some kind of green floral inside the garland. But I definitely should have got the vine, the eucalyptus vine instead. And now I'm just starting to, the chair has came. The chair was much larger than what I expected. So at first we had it like centered right in front, but then it would have kind of blocked off some of the work we already did, and you wouldn't have really been able to see the design. So we decided to move the chair a little bit over to the right. That way we can still see the balloons and the shape of it and not lose some of the design we decided to do with the actual setup. So that's what we did. We ended up moving it over, just shifting it a little bit to the right. And I will be making another attachment point on the wall on the left side on the corner once I add this balloon. And I use some tape on the back of the chair where that sage green is at. And that's where I added another tape like that H method. But I think I only used like 2 pieces with the 260. And I added it there so I can attach the balloons to the chair because there was no holes or anything where I'll be able to attach the balloons to. But I'm doing the H method on the wall on the left side again so I can attach the new cluster that I have right there. I can attach that to the wall to hold it at another point. And this is a cluster. Oh, one thing else I was doing for this setup, instead of doing like every cluster a different color, I was trying to do chunks of clusters of the same color so I can get a lot of one color in one area. If you guys watch my previous video, I mentioned this about trying to do bigger sections of one color. So maybe doing 2 or 3 clusters of one color and not doing a cluster of gold, then a cluster of sage, and a cluster of white sand. Like I'm trying to do bigger chunks of clusters in one area when I can. Because it all depends as well on your design, what you want to do, the style. But I like when I see a lot of one color. This is what I personally like. When I see a lot of one color in one area, I notice that's something I really like. Then, even though it's block coloring all of it, it is a difference when you do like every other cluster a different color versus maybe 2 or 3 clusters in one color and then go to another section and do, you know, another color with 3 or 4 clusters in that area as well. All right, you guys, this is the final look. This is how everything came out. I ended up extending that middle cluster, I think it was. I'm not sure. But I did this little cluster of 6 balloons on the side with the teddy bear. That was the table. And this is the tree that I wanted to do. I definitely think that sage green was missing that large balloon. It still came out really good, but in my head, it kind of looked like a thumb, the branch. But I feel like the large balloon would have definitely had broken that up, all those 11-inch balloons. But at the end, it still looked really good. The colors look so nice together. Don't forget to go to the description box if you want to see what colors I use, the exact colors I use. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.